Hey guys, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial today, and it's all about creating a camera zoom or binocular zoom. Depends what you want to use it for. Really, most commonly I'd say it's most seen in games like DayZ, where you can right click and then you can zoom in as you're running. But I'll show you a simple way, a creative way to do it, so you can give him visage of equipping binoculars or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm in Photoshop and I've got an actual image, a canvas size of 1920 by 1080, just my screen resolution. So whatever yours is, you might want to set it to that. But usually it's HD resolution if you've got a HD monitor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the background with black, so we've got a layer with a black background. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two ovals that are actually white. So I'm going to create one oval here, or one circle, and I'm going to duplicate the other and put them roughly both together. And then what I'll do is Control T and scale them up a little bit. It's lagging a little bit because I'm recording. And what we'll do here is we'll place them in the middle, and we'll make the other one. We'll make it go up slightly just to try and position it better. And what we can do then is if we right click, select them both, right click, we just go merge layers. What we can do if we select the magic wand tool and we just select inside, we can delete that shape. But then if we select our black layer, what we can do is we can delete the insides, so it actually leaves a sort of outline. And what we'll do is delete the first layer, and then we'll double click on that layer. And what we'll do is add an outer glow, which we set the blend mode to normal, put the opacity to 100%, put the spread to about 1, and then we can adjust the size accordingly. So if we try 50, it gives us a little bit of an edge. 65 was that. Press OK, and then we've got our binoculars there. So what we want to do from here, once we've created that, we want to save it out as a PSD and save it wherever you want. I'll just replace my existing one, and if we're going to Unity, we right click, we import a new asset, we import the binoculars, and then we change the from texture, the texture type to GUI. It'll set its scaling correctly. Want to add a new component, we're going to create other and a GUI texture, because what we're going to change is this is going to appear on our screen. And what we could do, you can rename that anything you want, and you get the little Unity GUI. What we want to do is replace that Unity GUI here with the binoculars we've got, and we want to set the width and height to what you actually set your image, and it'll scale up to how you add it. Now, depending on the resolution of your screen and things like that, we want to change this X and Y pixel inset. So I change it to 960 by minus 586, and that if I play the game, it fits perfectly in the margins for what I wanted. And that's pretty much it for the basis of it. We don't want the binoculars out all the time, so we're going to create a little script which is going to control this for us. So what you want to do is create JavaScript, and then you want to call this whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. Call it Bino for short. And then just open MonoDevelop. And then what we want to do in MonoDevelop is create about 5 different variables. And we're going to have 3 variables. One called zoom, set as an integer, equals 20 as a standard. Variable normal as integer, which is equal to 60, which is our normal camera field of view. And then smooth, which is going to make the actual smoothing, so when we zoom in it's not just going to be a quick snap or a harsh. Then we're going to create a variable called image bino. This is just going to be set to a GUI texture, and that's what we want to use, so we can set that texture on and off. And then we want to create a private variable called isZoomed and set that to false, because we want to detect when we've zoomed in and such. So at the start we want to say image bino dot enabled equals false, because we don't want to be able to see it when we start the game. We only want to be able to see it when we're actually pressing something. So we want to write in our update function if input dot, I spelled that wrong, if input dot get mouse button down in brackets 1, which is your right click, and then we add another bracket here, then we'll have 2 curly brackets, and then put isZoomed is equal to exclamation mark isZoomed. Then that means it'll trigger on and off. And then what we're going to do under here is create another if statement that if isZoomed and it's set to true, then curly brackets camera dot field of view equals math f dot lerp in brackets camera dot field of view comma zoom comma time dot delta time times by the smoothing amount, so times by smooth. And we're going to close that off, and then we're going to write image bino dot enabled is equal to true. And then under here we're going to write else, and this is to set it when it's not. So what we're going to do is in our else we're going to copy this line, paste it here, and what we're going to change is, instead of changing it to zoom, we're going to change this to normal, and we're going to have pretty much the same thing, and we're going to copy this same line and say is equal to false, so when we've unticked it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save this out, and we're going to go back into Unity, and what we're going to do is on our main camera we're going to add this script, the Bino script, and you'll see we have a zoom of 20. So if you can see, the field of view is set to 60 at the minute, which is there. The zoom will change the field of view to 20, and the smoothing just causes smoothing. And what we need to do in the GUI texture slot is put these binoculars in there, so you put that texture in there, so when we play the game, initially you don't see anything, you don't see any binoculars, you don't see any zoom, and if you have a right click, you'll see that we zoom in with the actual image. And if I go back on the game view and I maximise on play, so you actually see pretty much the full resolution, you can zoom in over a further distance, so you can see and create a sort of very basic binocular sort of setup. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial, and thanks very much for watching. And if you like the tutorial, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks very much.